Tottenham
night.
is like, can you make a hole into a house type of thing.
If Messi wanted to ask a question to the teacher, he would whisper it to his friend, and she would ask for him.
Admiral Weston McKennie.
Damn, 5-star General McKennie.
Champions League group stage.
Here's what I'm going to ask you for a letter grade. No other words. Don't say nothing else. Just a letter grade or a number grade. Scale of 1 to 10, just like you would grade a player. Now that it's match day 8, we've seen it all from this league phase. We've had the ups, the downs, the drama, everything. What do you grade? And you can do decimal. What do you grade this new Champions League format?
8.3.
I go 8.9, 9.2 range.
Okay, so obviously we differ greatly. Wow.
I think it's at least a 9. I'm going to call it a 9.
It's a...
What is missing?
We've been talking about this throughout the...
Yeah, but what doesn't get you to a 10? What's missing to make it a 10?
What's missing for me is I did enjoy the back and forth of the teams playing each other home at home. Home and away. Home and away. I'm just saying, but one team at home and the other home. I appreciated the strategy around it. Who are they going to play? Who did they play last time? Did this person get injured? How are we going to I enjoyed that chess match a little bit, but the madness and the unpredictability, I think, showed what, and we talked about this before, just like, why is Manchester City finishing in 24th? What spot did they end up in?
No, they finished above it, right? 22nd.
22nd. It says, some teams were better at adapting to the unpredictability of who they were going to play, what the conditions that they were playing in. I think maybe the teams, maybe even Manchester City is an example of just like the teams that just possess the ball and want to play this beautiful football. It's like Champions League. No, that's not what we're doing here.
You need to run, my guy.
You need Jonathan David out there just going.
Shouts to CONCACAF players.
Trying to, be in the right position and get some goals and stuff like that. So I think the...
Can I give you a little hot take of why I think I like it so much?
No, thank you. Let's keep it moving.
All right, never mind. Here's my hot take. Champions League with this new format is a bit more American.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Major League Soccer made that.
No, forget Major League Soccer. It's actually just American sports. No balanced schedule. NFL's like, forget home and away.
Yeah.
You play whoever we tell you to play. And that's kind of how this felt.
Sure. Yeah. There is a strong American sports inspiration, which is
And now there's a playoff? This is American, bro.
It was interesting hearing on the broadcast, basically
this is a wild card game.
Basically.
It's basically a wild card game. This is an American sports format.
I loved hearing just everybody on the broadcast, whether they were interviewing players and post-match interviews, they were just like, you excited to make it to the playoffs?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we love the playoff. And all the different accents.
I've never once said anything about a playoffs, fam. I've loved it since day one.
I'm like,
I'm an Aston Villa fan.
This sounds...
There's a reason why I threw that team under the bus.
This sounds like home.
Yeah.
Hearing them say that. So
but they put the hyphen in there. Bro, it's just one word. I need some playoffs. Playoffs.
Right. Are they going to put you in there somewhere? British people will be putting yous and words that don't need it.
What, favorite? How about you get in there?
What
Aluminium.
What are you doing here?
Yeah,
anyway, so overall, I think the notable results that are just like really fun that I don't think, they probably don't happen. Milan, AC Milan beating Liverpool, beating Real Madrid. Real Madrid being in the position that they're in, right?
AC Milan scored against Liverpool. They didn't beat them.
They beat them. They did not beat them.
No.
Oh, they beat Madrid.
Liverpool only lost once, which was against PSV.
They beat
a bunch of Americans.
They beat Madrid. Who's the other team? The other big team?
Yeah, they beat Madrid and was it Sporting Club? They beat somebody else.
So, but these results, I think, just offer something that the other format I don't think would have offered. The
excitement was ratcheted up a bit. It felt like after 2 match days, you already kind of knew how the group was gonna come out for most of the last format.
Okay, yeah, right. The last format, yeah.
You don't know what's going on. Think about it. Going into the last day, only 2 teams were sure to qualify for everything.
Sure.
For at least to stay in their bracket area, if you will. That's excitement to me. Look at PSG. PSG going all the way from flirting with relegation to being one of the seeded teams in the playoff bracket.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
And by the way, they only needed a draw with Stuttgart. Stuttgart's like, we're going to take it easy, right? Because we only need a draw. Y'all only need a draw. And PSG was like, oh, yeah, we didn't get that memo.
That's right.
Yeah,
Ousmane
we going to bother you.
Dembele gets his first hat trick, I believe, in Champions League. But overall, it's even having the final day, and I think this is really the best move and the master move behind, because this was originally going to be Super League, right? That's what they were really trying.
Yeah.
And then the compromise.
Kind of goes to show Super League would have been kind of lit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, this show from day one, we've all been pro Super League. You know that.
Super League.
No, it's been
an Al Nassr shirt just floats down.
For everything to be on that final day, all the games at the same exact time. What was it? 18 matches or something. Like
18 matches. Always.
It was appointment television, and we don't really get that often.
Yeah.
In almost any other aspect of entertainment, because everything is like on demand.
The majority of the world was watching one thing all at the same time. That doesn't always happen.
I mean, I also feel bad if you were watching one game instead. Like,
you missed out.
Also, if you like went and saw a game, even if you saw a 5-0, 6 or whatever, like the Lille game or something like that, you still missed 17 other
unless you're like
matches.
A massive PSG fan. But if you're just a casual fan and you went to a game, you should have been at a pub with a lot of TV.
This felt like a little bit of it's better to be home or watching this on TV.
Again, American. Right? I got HD at home. I need to go to the game. You know what I felt bad for? Nico. The amount of research this man had to do.
Nico Cantor.
And there were so many goals, he couldn't get to 90% of the research. This man prepped for like solid 8 days and could use barely any of it. He was just like, oh, did you know? Never mind, there's a goal happening in Slovan Bratislava. That's way more exciting than this thing I just looked up.
It also started off incredibly insane. There were goals. The first goal was in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then there were something like 10 goals in the first 15.
There's usually some chatting on the Golazo show. There was nothing.
No, a little banter. Just a little, like,
no time.
Getting to know everybody. No.
Even the break dancer was like, yo, this is crazy. I don't even know why I'm here.
What is sports television become?
Look, I'm all for. We're a pro mayhem show.
I can't believe we didn't think about bringing a breakdancer on.
You guys got to think some of this through, though. What's it gonna look like on air?
The outfits that Jamie and Micah were wearing.
Who picked that, bro?
I don't know.
What 75-year-old former Bronx native?
There are literal. We're stand-up comics. We are literal clowns, but we know plenty of clowns
on purpose.
We know plenty of clowns that'd be like, I ain't wearing that. I wouldn't be caught dead in that.
You know how many times Morning Footy tried to get me in some clown ass outfit? And I was like, I'm not doing, it'll be funny to you. And that's it.
Looking like a 1982 LL Cool J.
Bro.
Why are they dressed like that?
Jamie looking like a narc cop in a 1999 film. Doesn't know how to dress for the generation.
100%. It's like when you're on the subway and you're just like, that's a cop. Who's a cop.
Yeah. Oh, what stop are you getting off at? Is it to buy crack by any chance? You're like, no.
Oh, puffer vest with a Yankee cap? I know you a cop.
And your Jordan 1's tied all the way to the top. All the way to the top? I didn't even know the lace went through them holes, bro.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, a couple moments that we have to make sure to highlight. Obviously, there were a bunch of Americans that did.
Shouts to the Americans doing things.
That they did really well. A couple big.
Can I just remind you of something? Weston McKennie in the summer was told, hey, why don't you go find yourself a new club? We don't need you for the second year in a row. And last night or yesterday, when he steps on a pitch for Juventus, what was he wearing around his arm, Christian?
Captain's armband. Captain Weston McKennie.
Wow. Captain McKennie.
I believe his father was in the military. And
Armed Forces, we don't know.
I don't know what military wing, but I think he was also he might have made it to captain. So he might have two Captain McKennies in the family. Yeah. Maybe lieutenant. whatever.
Damn.
Maybe, I mean, Weston.
Sergeant Weston.
Sergeant Admiral Weston
Damn,
McKennie.
yo, five-star General McKennie, bro.
No, that was great to see. Obviously, Juve didn't get a victory in the game. They ended up losing 2-0.
They
but
are so boring.
You know what was interesting though? Watching that game, and I'm watching on Golazo, and the body language. Especially I saw Tim Weah. I believe he started in the game, right? Did he? I don't know. I remember seeing him, but the anger and frustration that he had when the goals were given up.
Yeah.
It was the right body language for a team that conceded. You know what I mean? It was just like it's not going to affect our Champions League run, and we're still obviously
much
like
qualify. You yelled when you went and got Spanish food. I'm too good for this.
No, you're not that arrogant.
Not arrogant. Yeah. The team is too good.
But there was something about it. You know, it wasn't there wasn't any apathy around it. It was just like actual frustration. Like we should be better than this. And you know, it came up on the broadcast a lot about Thiago Motta, the manager for Juve.
He's hot.
Yeah, which is
crazy.
He got the job because everyone's like, oh, he did so well at Bologna.
Exciting brand of football coming.
This is gonna be great. And it's just like the same exact problem.
I was like, nah, I left that in Bologna, bro. Shouts to I want to give credit to Pepi, man. Ricardo Pepi.
PSV had a fantastic game against Liverpool.
Bro, you put him in the game, he's like, I'm gonna show you need to start me. And he does that every time, and yet you don't start him. But I think he has the highest number of goal contributions per 90 of players who've played 500 minutes or more. The only person who has more than him actually is Patrick Schick, so he has the second most.
Yeah,
that's an incredible stat for a guy.
How many minutes does he actually? It's probably like 502.
Whatever he qualifies. Hey, you got it in just in time. To me, that just goes to show the quality and how consistent he is. And there was a bid that came in for him from West Ham.
I did see that,
and that was denied by PSV, which gives me the idea that, like, all right, De Jong is now starting to get a little bit older. Maybe he's not in the plans to be the starter next season, or at least not the full-time starter. And it's going to be more of a split time with Pepi and him. And that, to me, gives me a lot of pride and a lot of happiness because Ricardo Pepi has proven time and time again he deserves to be a starter somewhere. So if PSV's not going to do it, and I'm fine with a slow bleed, you know what I mean? Like, let him get his moments. Let him get time. Like, don't rush it. I'm fine with that. But if not, hey, let him go to the Premier League. Let him go somewhere else where somebody wants him, where he can start because the World Cup is coming, yo.
It's so wild how he went to Augsburg, right? He left FC Dallas, and it was just so bad. And I even went being like, oh man, he can't even get minutes at Augsburg. Like,
but he also wasn't getting service. That team was in dire straits.
Sure, and I'm glad he didn't stick around. You know, sometimes they say like fight for your spot, fight for those like, minutes. He's like, nah, bro, I see what I'm working with. Let me find another.
You got to leave your toxic ex, bro. You got to leave him. But then he went to Groningen and he balled out.
Yeah. I did love the what was it? The assist. I mean, he got a goal, which, you know, whatever.
The back heel, bro.
Not the back heel, the shoulder.
One? Oh, the shoulder.
The shoulder assist.
I'm thinking Gio Reyna also
has a center back pinned to him, and gives the you don't really see these. You see these in those like Brazilian techer videos on the beach. You know how they do that? They always find a body part that you don't actually use in a game,
or in the videos. Cha 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 cha. You know, they'd be hitting this joint.
And it's always like an 8-year-old girl that just knows they're born with it, right?
Or some lady in heels on the beach drinking a caipirinha. Do all of you just know how to play ball like this?
Why are you walking so comfortably in heels on sand?
Damn, I'm uncomfortable for you, man. And Bunions is killing.
But that was, I mean, and the goal, Bakayoko, I think is. That, I mean, he sat those. He sat Andy Robertson and I believe it was Kwanzaa.
He hit the cutback and two players just slipped past.
This happens a couple times. This happened in a USMNT match. I think a couple maybe like 2-3 years ago. I don't remember. I think it was a match.
There was a it was a NWSL final, was it, or just before?
Oh, recently, yeah.
Marta was like, swoop.
But this was. I mean, Robertson and Kwanzaa, it was like synchronized diving. You know what I mean? Like, it was perfect. They were perfect. They did that slide tackle.
In slow-mo looks crazy.
It looked amazing. No, it was great to see. And the finish was crazy,
Christian Pulisic also scored a wonder goal, down a man, which was incredible.
A wonder goal.
Come on. He was down a man. Yo, you got to add that extra sauce on it.
It was, probably the keeper should have done a little bit better.
Hey, whoa. That keeper's not American. We don't dictate the way the keeper goes. All you can do is shoot the ball. Okay? It's not up to you where the keeper is.
I thought it was a good goal to score, and you know, in that position. I think Milan also had a penalty that was taken back.
Yeah.
VAR.
Rafael, right? Because he
We
popped
say
the
he.
dude,
I mean, through
popped
my
homie
man.
with the elbow. Yunus Musa obviously got a red card, 2 yellows, I should say. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't see the challenge from the first one, but the second one was like he has no argument to make at all. He's literally pulling at the dude by his waist.
I think he pushes.
No, he gets it's pass interference. You know what I mean? Like he got in the way.
No. The second one was he kind of tugs the guy and the guy falls. As soon as he touches the guy collapses.
Yeah, but
it's a little bit much.
He pulled him. I thought he no.
It was a little bit much.
That was a valid second yellow. But again, the frustration here for Milan is that they would have been in the round of 16 immediately if they had gotten. I think even if they drew in this game, it would have been pretty close.
Sal was like, it doesn't matter if you bring in great players. You could have all the best players in the world. If they don't have like the oomph to do it, then it doesn't matter. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah,
kind of calling out. First, you fought your players last week, and now you're calling them out.
It took a little bit. Yunus Musa was just on a roll of just getting starts, getting a lot of minutes. You know, getting important key plays in games.
He was becoming essential, which is what kind of we wanted to see.
A little bit
season.
Stifling to get this yellow in champ because obviously he's going to miss the first game of whoever they play. And then Gio Reyna. Had a back heel assist. He subbed into the game and gets an assist there. Again, there's a couple more days left in the transfer window. Also, Niko Kovac will be the coach.
Yeah, the new coach.
That's what all the reports are saying. Kovac was the coach for Bayern Munich when we went to.
And they lost 5-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt. And then he gets fired while we're there.
So
who knows? The eagle almost attacked you. And I said I'd fight the eagle. And then I had to apologize to the eagle. I had to write an apology email to an eagle. For those of you who are new here.
So that's just, we're just catching you up.
We're just giving you the full rundown.
Our German escapades.
Why does it sound like we went on a honeymoon to Germany?
So, look, overall, Champions League, the group stage, the league phase. I guess it's not really called group stage anymore.
No, it's league phase.
League phase. Entertaining, fun, offered moments that the group stage did not offer. And you kind of want to see more of this, I think, in the future. And we'll see how the next rounds are going to be what we're used to, the knockout round. So there shouldn't be as much shock or surprise, or at least for Manchester City, who luckily, and they made it and they qualified for the next round.
It got sticky in the first half.
But who are they going to be facing? One of two,
either Real Madrid or
I believe Bayern Munich. So I mean,
if you're Real Madrid, I know Carlo Ancelotti said at the end of the game, he's like, I don't want to play City. I don't like playing City. But he didn't mean it like, I'm afraid to play City. He's just like, yo, we do this every year, dog.
There's something with them,
we get, it's like, yo, Fast and the Furious 8, how many times y'all gonna jump this damn bridge, bro?
Bayern,
here's what I think. Now is the time you want to play City, bro. They're struggling.
I mean, Real Madrid also kind of, they slip up from time to time. They're not doing that great.
Real Madrid are first in La Liga.
They aren't, or
they are.
Did they just make it?
No, they're balling right now. I think they're 4 points ahead.
Atletico.
All I'm saying is, if Matheus Nunes is starting at right back, bro, you winning. Don't worry about it.
All right,
you winning.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll chat a little bit.
You want to talk to an author?
To a Peruvian author.
Author.
Okay.
You sound like we got one of them guys on the subway who play the world. Like, you ever write a book? Get up here.
Are we going to talk a little bit about his new book and Messi? So we're going to chat with Luis Miguel Echegaray in just a bit right after this.
Introducing Daily Draw, the latest free-to-play game from Yahoo Sports. Daily Draw gives you a pack of 6 prediction cards every day based on the day's biggest sporting event. Download or update the Yahoo Sports app on the Apple App Store or Google Play and join the action with Daily Draw today.
We're absolutely thrilled to be joined by a dear friend who here's a little interesting tidbit.
Okay.
The last time this guest did our show was the final show before lockdown and COVID.
That's
lockdown began.
right.
This is why I'm really scared of being
Yeah.
here. Because the
What
last
comes
time
next?
all of us were together, the world exploded
That's
with
right.
COVID.
Yeah.
So guess what? Bird flew everywhere once this happened.
yeah.
So we don't know.
Foot and mouth disease coming to a city near you.
We don't
Brought to you by 3 Latinos.
Jeez.
Okay.
Cooligans! Yo, by the way, the new Bad Bunny album, Nueva York, that
Yeah,
first
of
song,
course.
you need that theme song. Cooligans!
Oh my God.
Si te quiere divertir.
We need-
I love that
We
shit.
need Hector Lavoe to yell Cooligans
I love this.
after doing a line.
We haven't even said his name, but the energy is incredibly
Come
high.
on.
Absolutely,
Say all three of this man's names.
absolutely thrilled to be joined by Luis Miguel Echegaray of ESPN and now published author of Messi Mania, which you can get coming out March 4th in the US and the UK.
Yeah, see, Alexis, Peruvians can write, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
this is beautiful.
You see that?
Yes, Alexis was saying some really terrible things about
Yeah.
Peruvian literacy beforehand.
Right, that's how we booked you. I was like, I need you to prove to me.
No, send him a voice though, because you know he can't read the text.
Exactly. We had to do it by flutes. That's why we always do it.
You know I'm talking about them dudes on the subway. And you're like, ain't nobody ever heard of this
I know, but
music.
like, you think that that's the only Peruvian. Your idea of a Peruvian is this guy there
my
with a
favorite part
poncho.
about it is like, what kind of music is this? World
Yeah.
music? Oh, you just music for the world?
Yeah. It's like, oh, we got a Cuban on TV, or it's got to be Al Pacino or Scarface, right?
A fat Cuban talking about soccer.
don't know.
Did you ever think we'd get to this point as a
Bro,
nation?
this is what I love. 3 Latinos right here taking over. I'm so proud of you two, by the way. 10-year anniversary, right?
That's
Coming
right.
up.
Yeah.
See, anybody can just do a show. It's absolutely
We
ridiculous. No, but you guys are a
Sometimes the
testament, bro.
don'ts become the dudes.
I know, seriously. I mean, I don't want to get too political, but we are a nightmare for so many people, and I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
congrats on that, by the
No,
way. And
yes.
that's a gift to you, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, the book. Okay, yeah. No.
Just one. I'm Peruvian after all. I
Go,
need to
let's
save
get
some
hit
money.
the
Share it.
We'll get let's talk about the book. Yeah, Messi Mania. Obviously, this the last 2 years and having Lionel Messi in Major League Soccer, just in American soccer, I can imagine, clearly the inspiration is there because a lot of people are not only going to be introduced to him, but introduced to him in a different way. And you chose to capture that and tell that story. So let's talk a little bit about the inspiration for the book and why you want to write it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, you said it right there, right, Chris? I mean, Messi in Miami, in the US, that summer 2023 would have happened, just like US culture, sports culture, whatever it was, like exploded, right? Everybody was just paying attention to what was going on. This book is about his arrival to Miami, but it's also about his life story. And it's really written for young adults, for teenagers, because I really feel that, my wife's a public school teacher, and she always tells me that one of the hardest things right now, as has always been the case, to help boys out just read and maintain reading. And there's not enough like stories about sports athletes and heroes. And I think Messi arriving to America, and his whole story, because it's really such an underdog story, right? Growth hormones. He immigrated to Europe when he was 13 years old. He's an introvert. Like many people thought that he was just the weirdest kid ever. So he had very difficult times socializing. I wanted to create that as a story for young people and say, especially immigrant kids, and say to them, it doesn't matter what obstacles in front of you. Just go out there and do your thing. You can do it. And I think Messi's arrival to the US is a perfect example.
I didn't know this about your wife, that she's a public school
Yeah,
teacher
man.
trying to teach boys to read. Let her know we don't need it. You know what I mean?
Peruvians don't need it. That's for damn sure.
You can make it real far
Yeah.
without reading a whole bunch of stuff.
Not a day in my life.
First of all, get a Netflix account and you're good.
Yeah, bro. You
Okay.
see it. You don't gotta read it.
Just all you gotta do is search on YouTube,
Bro.
red pill content, and you're good.
and that's how we lost Christian.
And we replaced it with AI.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm curious about this if you, because this is my sort of thought on Messi, and you even writing this book and targeted at young adults, and sort of he is a hero to a lot of people, but he is a hero
man.
in a different way. Yeah, he's not, like you said, introverted, not very vocal, doesn't really speak out about a lot of things. Has
You
shown,
don't know a lot of his personality or opinions.
yeah, he's
It's all just what he does on the pitch.
Doesn't speak English, chooses not to. I mean, he purposely does it.
Yeah. And I've heard, a friend of the show, Julian Gressel, his teammate at Inter Miami, says that he actually does speak English on the pitch and at a decent level, even to the
when he trusts people, that's when he does it. But he will never do it publicly.
Yeah, he said
like, he'll go to like all over the world with events or whatever, and they'll be like whether it's in France or whatever, and say Leo, a few words in our language, and he'll literally just be like, no.
I love that he's holding on to the Maldives. He just refuses to.
But what could you say or speak to about that level of heroism and inspiration that he offers when he is not very vocal? Like, what is it about him that we all sort of connect with?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think it actually begins right there. I think it's the fact that he is an introvert. And he really chooses very wisely throughout his career and in life to be very specific about who he talks to, how he like portrays himself publicly. There's a part in the book that I talk about his childhood when he was growing up in Rosario, Argentina. One of his very best friends is this girl like who like, was in every class with him growing up or whatever. If Messi wanted to ask a question to the teacher, he would whisper it to his friend and she would ask for him. Like that's how much of a, quiet, introverted person he was growing up. And that kind of never left him. And I think to answer your question, he's won the World Cup. And, shout out here. I interviewed him one-on-one.
Hey.
Just saying.
Okay.
All right. You got to big it up right there. But
right.
The reason why I bring it up is because when he entered the room, he acts like he's not Lionel Messi.
Sure.
Like, he literally is just this humble person. And the first thing he asked me was just like, how's it going? How are you? I told him, I'm a lifelong Villa fan, by the way. And he was like, I say hello to Dibu and stuff. He's not really demanding attention in the way that we think he demands it. I think it's different when he's like in the training pitch and when he's people that he trusts. And obviously when he's playing, something completely different changes. He just wants to win.
I think that's the case for most footballers, right? They have a different personality.
Two different
in training
personalities
versus in public.
Yeah.
But the thing about Messi that's so mysterious is like, we don't get that second one. We don't get a personality in public.
So
even when he takes pictures with his wife, it's
and
just
I think
a big
that's
smile.
the attraction.
Yeah,
the fact that you just like everybody's like, I want more, and he'll give you just a little bit.
So he's not going to start a YouTube channel like Cristiano Ronaldo.
No,
is that what you're saying?
That would be amazing. Can you imagine that? Yeah,
it's just him whispering to someone. They're like, comment, like, subscribe.
Exactly. He'll be like, join us next week.
It is really remarkable. I mean, like, and we've gotten the chance to see him play a few times. The first time, the first time we saw him play, at least the first time you didn't see him play before when we went to Paris, right?
No, PSG debut was.
We went to him in the PSG.
We saw his PSG debut and him getting like subbed off in like the 70th minute, and it was like, and Mauricio Pochettino was the manager, and even in that moment, it was just like, all right, he does not want to be off the pitch right now. He can still play. We saw him in Charlotte when Inter Miami played Charlotte FC, and we were kind of right on the pitch. He walked by us, and even for me, I mean, we've been covering this game for these 10 years that we've been doing this, and Messi. I'm not necessarily starstruck around Messi, but what affects me is how starstruck everyone else is.
Right.
Even people who aren't typically soccer fans.
Yeah.
No.
It's
effect is
children,
crazy.
everybody. The effect is so remarkable. I mean, I've interviewed so many players. I mean, like it's sort of lost on me the fame around the players, but the effect, the impact is just. It's like it makes everyone sort of like delusional.
And I think it begins because he's never wanted it. Like, not the spotlight. He's just wanted to play and be the kid that just does things. And you see it over and over again throughout his career. And when he first moved to Barcelona with his dad to do the trials at La Masia, he was in the same time when Piqué was there and Fabregas, and both of them recall saying, I thought this was a kid with needs that was just here.
Sure.
Like, we didn't know what this kid was about. He was so introverted in his corner, just sitting there, whatever. Granted, it's difficult because, you're an Argentinian kid coming to Barcelona to do a trial. But the moment you're on the pitch, you do your thing. That kid has never left him. He's always been like that. Yeah. And so, like, I think it always just comes back to the fact that we want more and he'll never give you more.
How did he manage to live so much of his life in Spain and not pick up a Spanish accent?
That's on purpose.
Yeah.
That's on purpose.
That is so incredible.
He is so proud of being Argentinian.
I also think because he left and he had so many comparisons to Maradona, that he felt like I need to remain as
I need to
Argentinian
do
as possible
something.
because
Yeah.
they're gonna say I haven't been here since I was 13.
Yeah.
If he pulled up, he's like, and they'll be like, no.
I'm not talking.
no.
With their mate
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't even. It's disgusting.
I'm a fan of Mathys.
No, you have to be, bro, because you're surrounded by people that drink it all the time.
Not as
No,
much.
no, you're coming back to me.
No. Yeah.
Peruvians hate that stuff. We have
Yeah.
mate de coca, which is a different thing, and then you need it for matcha.
Yeah,
But like, I don't like it's so gross, bro. I don't care how many. Like, this is where Messi and I will differ, unfortunately.
Right.
But anyway, to your
Yeah,
point,
that's
is
the
he's
only
never-
difference between the two of you.
Yeah, we're extremely.
Yeah, the list ends there, dude.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Let's just start with personality. You've never been the quiet type. Let's just end there.
unfortunately, that is true.
I want to ask about his time coming to Miami
Yeah.
because there was a conversation. There was a big conversation right around the time. Remember, there was like rumors: will he not? City was possibly going to
Yeah.
sign him, and then he releases the video, like a selfie video of him saying, "I'm coming to Miami."
Yeah.
Then starts the conversation: can Messi Mania, to reference the book's title, can that actual Messi Mania be duplicated in the U.S.? Does the U.S. care enough about him? And then he goes to Publix. And the world is like, eat cereal. We need to follow him everywhere he goes. And there's like security has to show up to the supermarket to get him out of there. That, I think, might have been a bit of a rude awakening for him that like, oh, I thought maybe there was a bit of him that thought you go to the States and you kind of maybe don't have to deal with the craziness.
Yeah.
Nah, fam.
Well, he did the most Florida thing. Like, he did 3 Florida things in the space of a week. He like ran through a red light. He went to Publix, right? And obviously, he went to the beach every now and then. Well, the Publix thing, like, obviously, that was a completely, fabricated type of event. I know that it seemed very, like, unique and spontaneous, but, like, Messi knew damn well what was going to happen if he went with Antonella to, get some bread and chasing Matteo down aisle 3. Like, here's the thing.
I wonder if Antonella did what my mother would do, which is like threaten white kids running around that she's going to beat them too. That's what my mother did.
Like-
We don't hit the whites, mom.
Well, she definitely would have been
They
going
said-
to a restaurant in New Jersey. That's what
yeah.
that
It's too expensive.
Bro,
Don't do it.
I'm with you. But to answer your question is this. Miami in itself, South Florida, is extremely, obviously Latin American, but it's very Argentinian American.
Which is new.
Which is a very
You go
new
back a
concept.
decade, that's not the case.
100%. It was more Haitian, Cuban,
Yeah.
of course, but Argentinian Americans, there's a massive, massive community there. So he knew exactly that when Beckham and Jorge Mas were selling in the project, that's part of it. And the first question I asked him was like, I've never seen you happier, honestly. Like, yeah, Barcelona, but you're so happy. And he's like, yeah, because my family's happy. And they felt finally after the nightmare that was PSG that he could go to a place and he could just feel very Argentinian. And that's exactly his life right now.
Yeah.
It's the closest he will be to Rosario, to being with Argentina in Miami. And I think that's going to be a massive factor this season, after this season, and so much forth after that, with the World Cup and everything.
Right. He did say just like a day or two ago that he was asked like where does he want to live and where does he want to stay after his career.
He said Barcelona.
He said Barcelona,
Yeah,
which is
it's where his kids were born. Like
Yeah, it's
That is interesting.
It is because I also think of it as comparing Messi kind of to like the economic impact that like LeBron when he left Ohio, it was like literally money taken out of the GDP out of out of Ohio.
I was in Ohio.
that one restaurant in Youngstown.
Oh my God. Youngstown. Don't go to a restaurant in Youngstown.
If you're Peruvian in Youngstown, I apologize.
There's no restaurants in Youngstown. It's just boxing rings that also serve food. Youngstown's a rough place. But
That was a business idea.
I was in Ohio and we went to like the one rooftop bar that some of the players go to. Like that was
Cleveland?
Deladonna. I was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And the Deladonna, remember him? He was on the team. He was there hanging out. It's like, oh, this is where all the players go because it's like the only nice rooftop.
sure.
And somebody was like, she was talking. I was like, oh, you don't sound like you from Cleveland. She's like, I was born and raised here, but I moved to LA to start my media career. But I'm back because LeBron's back. Like he brought
Yeah,
people.
you're following.
There was, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
You're
the same
doing
with
the
Miami.
follow. No, well, I mean, the thing is, Miami in itself, as you mentioned, like obviously Messi getting there, it just fuel to the fire, right? But it is so quintessentially Latin American that with him, without him, like it's still gonna be Miami. The very important thing for Inter Miami is, and this is the one thing when I was talking to Inter Miami fans just as he was arriving, it's like we're so excited about Messi. Obviously, it's gonna be incredible, but we need to remember that we're a club after he leaves.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be very important to remain that relationship with Argentinian Americans, and not just them, but just like overall.
But Messi, part of him signing with Inter Miami was I forgot what the percentage is, but he's going to be a part owner of the team. And Beckham also said he had comments. He was like, I want him to stay, and it's wanting him to stay out of like. Having Messi around.
I just want him to hang out.
Will be good for business.
Also, what are you going to say? I don't care if he stays. You have to say it.
He knows that Barcelona is, a very special place in his heart, Barcelona. And there's no doubt in my mind that I think that eventually he does want to go back and live there. But I think that it all really depends on Antonella.
Right. Like, little happy wife, happy life type of situation. I wonder.
He's normal, just like us.
I wonder if after he retires, if he's sort of going to change in some way. Maybe he will be more vocal. Maybe he will do more ads where he's like speaking and things like that. I wonder what direction his life kind of goes.
I just don't want him to be a manager.
Right? He doesn't.
You don't think he has it?
I don't. It's not that I don't think he has it. It's just there's no outcome that's good after everything that he's done as a player.
Right.
Because as a manager, well, first of all, you can go either one or two ways. Thierry Henry, when he was a manager and when he was here at MLS, he was so frustrated with some players because it's like, hello, we can't do what you used to do, bro.
You're not surrounded by 10 on Reeds.
I don't think Messi's gonna be like that.
Also, when Maradona was manager,
that's where I was going
also,
because his Maradona-esque personality was positive in one way, but it was also negative in others.
Yeah.
And I just think that, as a manager, you're not going to win every game. There's going to be criticism at some point. Just leave that behind. And I don't think he would do it. But I'm with you because I'm very interested to see what kind of person he's going to be after he retires.
I wonder if he completely disappears from the public spotlight. It feels like the move for him. But I also feel like one of his kids will maybe go pro.
Yeah, which one do you think?
I don't know because I don't really know his kids like
Mateo's
that.
the one that's like the best one right now. I mean, we see
he's
all
the one
highlights.
That plays after matches.
The Inter Miami Academy.
Thiago is he's very chill, like Mateo's insane. He's just a crazy kid, and like he has that garra that wants to. So I agree with you. But,
I could see that.
But that kind of pressure on those kids, like just do your thing. But whatever.
Yeah, well, go Cucitini. Take the Cucitini name. Don't go Messi. But to see Messi in the in his suite, just staring at his kid playing, that'd be kind of cool.
Sure, because it would be. I can't imagine. Like I'm thinking of like the Ruben Amorim and Marcus Rashford beef. Like you can beef with Messi if he was the like it would be.
Yeah, you keep your mouth shut if he says something. Well, but the other thing that I was going to say is that we have to also remember that, and it's to your point about that he has part ownership as well, and obviously the Adidas deal and stuff. Messi has an empire beyond this as well, right? In terms of what he wants to create. There's already a film production company that the Messi brand will go way beyond after he retires. He's just going to have to be very specific about how he wants to handle it. And if he goes to Barcelona, that's another thing. But in America, in Miami, David Beckham's right. Like, he wants him to stay because he knows how powerful that empire can be for the future as well. Hence, the energy that so many young kids, have to work. I mean, it's amazing, man. Like, we all remember that 2023 Leagues Cup run, but like, literally, like, I have so many stories of so many kids all over who never really picked up a soccer ball, and now they're just all about Messi, and they're getting into MLS and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that Messi should only just be the way that attracts, but it is just adding more fuel to the fire. And the World Cup in 2026.
Well, you've been around the sport long enough. What do you think it's going to take for MLS where they don't need a Messi? It's good to have a Messi, but you don't need a Messi to draw the eyes.
I've always said that you need three things for MLS to not just be successful, but to really continue to. And this is a real pivotal time for Major League Soccer because one of the questions that you're asking, but two, because the World Cup's coming. Mm-hmm. And even though it's not directly related with the league, it's an important part of understanding what MLS is going to be. MLS to me needs three things. It's always needed three things. Number one, it needs to cultivate a good relationship with the communities that they have, including the academy. So NYCFC, when it goes to Queens, like build a really good relationship there, build that talent. LAFC with the Mexican-American community in LA. Inter Miami and the Latinos and the Afro-Latinos that live there in Miami. You need to, that's one. Number two, you need to make sure that you become a transactional league where you're not just buying players, right? You're not just getting Messi, but you are now a place where Europe's looking, going, Miguel Almiron, who's now back at it. That's a good
John
example.
Duran.
Alfonso Davies. John Duran is another one, right? Oh, Pepi, you need that. You need to be a transactional league.
Sure.
And then the third thing I think that's really important is to continue to bring the Messis and stuff. Like, I think not bringing James Rodriguez here was such a mistake.
It's so
man.
frustrating. Yeah, man.
Because I'm telling you, he would have Orlando, even NYCFC, I feel like
Bro,
would have done.
Colombians would have gone nuts in
Nuts.
Queens.
Roosevelt Avenue would have been locked
Jackson
down.
Heights would have been the place to be.
Queens would have been so
Queens would
lit,
have been
especially with the
bumping,
stadium
bro.
coming.
Oh, and that stadium's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think those are the three things that MLS needs, and it is doing that. So it just needs to continue to do that in order to grow.
The other thing I want to ask, not to bring the mood down too much, but you haven't been on. It's been a long time since you've been on the show. And we haven't really
Don't
got.
remind me. Last time we were here.
Yeah, we broke
What a
the
great
internet.
episode! COVID-19.
Yeah.
But,
Hit.
All right, wash your hands, Luis.
Sadly, during that time, since you were last on, we lost our dear friend Grant Wall.
Yeah.
And Grant was, obviously lost him at the World Cup before Argentina won. I'm just curious, how much were you thinking about Grant while writing this book? Because he obviously had a deep, fond love of Argentina. He called it like his second home, and it obviously getting to see Argentina lift the World Cup without Grant getting to see that obviously affected me and affected us.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how how that affected you in writing this book.
Yeah, no, thanks for asking, man. I mean, obviously both of you knew him well as well. Grant Wall was a mentor of mine. Obviously, he helped me so much. Planet Football TV is where I literally started in terms of being on the screen, and he taught me how to be a sports writer and a soccer writer. I think he's all over this book. I said it, when we said our goodbyes at the event in the city to exactly what you said.
Yeah.
When Argentina won the World Cup, it's like
they did it for him.
It was for him
Yeah.
in a really weird way. And the way that I write is the thing that made Grant so many wonderful things, but the thing that made Grant was so amazing was that when he wrote, there was so much of a sense of poetry and empathy in the people that were in it, whether it was about an individual or like a game recap. There was so much warmth and heart and love for it, and that Messi Mania to me, it's Grant's all over that.
Sure.
He taught me how to be a writer. So, whoever buys Messi Mania, you can pre-order now.
Please pre-order.
Grant Wall is all over. He's a big part of who I am today. Not just before, but now as well.
Sure.
The essence of Grant Wall is in it. I want to switch subjects. Obviously, recipes.
He did a terrible Argentinian accent, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. He did a
He
terrible
would
American
literally
accent.
call me and be like, "How's this for my Argentinian accent?" I was like, "Do you want me to be nice, bro?"
Yeah.
This is an SNL sketch.
It's like if Conan O'Brien went to Buenos Aires and he tried to.
You were like, he does it, and you're like, all right, we'll do the Argentinian accent.
Are you done?
Yeah. Are you done making fun of me, dude? I want to ask you about Aston Villa. You are a massive Aston Villa fan.
Yeah.
I think the last time we spoke, they had just gotten through the relegation and getting re-promoted.
Yeah, bro.
Right? You look at everything that's happened. Jack Grealish sale, and look at where you are now with Unai Emery, man. Talk about Aston Villa and just the come up that they've had, because they were kind of one of those teams that were kind of languishing up and down. Sorry if this reminds you of anything. Everton.
It does remind me. You said up and down. This is just down.
No,
Sorry,
man,
just languishing.
absolute love.
Yeah.
Everton.
Thank
man.
you, brother.
You gotta any kids watching. You gotta suffer in order to understand love and success. These new kids. You were talking about Man City before.
Yeah.
If you're choosing Man City now, Real Madrid. Oh, well done. Your diamond shoes don't fit, and your 50s are too big for your wallet. You need to support a team and struggle with them, because that's when you will know the true meaning of love. I'm telling you right now.
Become Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was struggling.
Well, so thanks for asking. Villa is like they're my heart. I immigrated to England when I was 11, 12 years old. It was very difficult for me to assimilate.
You took HGH and
yeah, exactly. I brought my flute with me as well. It was really hard.
the HGH is just beans and toast.
Yeah. They were like, "Oh, you're Paddington Bear." I was like, "No, bro, stop it."
Yeah.
But Villa was the
You can
connection.
actually, now that people know that, you can hear the amalgamation of both those accents when you speak.
Sometimes.
Well, actually, you just made the Paddington Bear reference, but I didn't know that Paddington Bear is Peruvian, right?
Yeah, and the story is that he's a Peruvian immigrant, and like arrives in England,
Right.
and all that stuff. But you go to Peru and they're like, ¿Quién?
Paddington?
Yeah.
No.
Even though the second was being filmed there. But so anyway, but Villa were the connector of everything to me because it was very difficult for me. And it was obviously at the time when the Premier League just launched. Villa came second in the debut season after Manchester United. So I fell in love with them. And like you said, we've been through some times, man. Like before Unai Emery, years before that in 2017, 18, like they were in the championship. We were like flirting with maybe League One. It was some tough times. Dean Smith came, who now manages Charlotte, and he saved us. Then Steven Gerrard, we won't talk about that. And then Unai Emery came in November 2022. And think about this. In less than 3 years, we went from 17th, 16th in the Premier League, flirting with relegation. Unai Emery comes in. He gets a lot of criticism because of what happened at Arsenal. And from that, we are into a bye in the round 16 of the Champions League.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's remarkable.
It is.
It's a remarkable achievement.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about it enough because, I
They
get
lost
it.
in the good evening, and it's the same nonsense.
And that racist, xenophobic, like bullshit. I know you're gonna bleep it, but I hate it so much because it minimizes. He is one of the best managers out. I'm not
He's
just saying
proving
because
it. No, he's proving it.
And by the way, when he was with Arsenal, he had to take over Arsene Wenger, which is like trying to take over an institution.
Yeah.
We
And
saw how
he's-
David Moyes did it.
And my friend, he got them to a higher place at the end of that, that first season, higher place than the last season of Arsene Wenger in his first struggles. So, it's not like he's, and a final of the Europa League as well. So it's not like, so anyway, with Villa, he's done, in less than 3 years, we're a Champions League team and still fighting for that right now and to the round of 16.
And just sold a player for $80 million.
Oh my God.
Bro, this
John
guy
Duran,
is making bad.
Yeah, we had a little bit of debate in our group chat because we were kind of in different sides of it. Is John Duran basically throwing his career away at this age? He's obviously going to make a lot of money.
He's not throwing his career away. John Duran, I know him well because I did a very big story on him when he first
Pronounce his first name?
John.
John.
He's Colombian. John.
Yeah.
But what you said, you don't have it?
Yeah, because in Colombian, he's got a Hader, and it's like his, he kind of has, like me, like Luis Miguel, he's John Hader. So in Colombia, they go, John Hader. But you can say John Duran.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
say
yeah,
that's,
Yeah. I was just like, where's he
my
getting
wife
this?
sometimes says Luis, not just Luis Miguel. And I'm like, oye, Luis Miguel, if you're mad at me, you say my whole name. So John Hader.
You're like that singer, Juan Luis Guerra. I can't.
You can't
You say the whole name every time.
JJD is
Yeah,
fine. But
yeah.
so he has, two names, but really it's, you can say John Hader or John, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if I say it, it's John Hader Duran.
Yeah.
He is a ridiculous talent, right? And I know his story well, from Envigado to Chicago Fire, arrives to Villa. He's 21 years old. And since he arrived at Villa, he's had a wandering eye. He's just wanted to always think, Real Madrid, I can be the biggest thing. And Unai Emery has tried very hard to help him. And he's a ridiculous talent. And he has given Villa already some historic moments, like that winner against Bayern Munich in the Champions League.
You were there, right?
man.
Yeah.
My wedding. So
I will have to cut that out. I don't want a public school
it's all
teacher
right.
banging on our door.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's more Peruvian than me these days. So like,
Yeah.
but anyway, so I personally think it's a mistake because, with all due respect, the Saudi Pro League, unless you're talking about Al Nassr and all those, there is still like the competition is not.
Yeah.
But he's 21 and he's gonna make his money. And he worked his ass off from Medellin, his humble beginnings, to pay himself and his family, do your thing. And Villa paid like 18 million pounds from Chicago Fire for this. We're getting nearly 80 million euros for this.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be in January because I don't like it, but you just, it's going to end up being 90 million with add-ons. Like, all right, you want to, because he doesn't want to be at Villa, so why would you want to stay? And that's what Unai Emery said after the game.
I think it's going to be interesting to see because I think that was the same take I had. He's so young that if he stays there for 3 or 4 years,
He can
the
still
amount
do
of money
his
he
thing.
makes changes his family, probably changes the neighborhood he came
Completely.
in.
Generational
And then,
wealth, yeah.
by far. But then also, he comes back to Europe, still not even in his prime yet.
24.
Yeah, he's still got 2-3 years left before he's in his
exactly.
prime.
And that's
And
the
at least
thing.
he'll play because Unai Emery's not really starting him. He's gonna start at Al Nassr.
But he's not patient. And that was the problem with Unai. It's like, Unai was like, be patient. I played with a long striker and he was doing well. It's just that he got sent off against Newcastle. And then he's always had a wandering eye. That's why West Ham, he did the X thing in the summer. He thought he was going to go. So to your point, he's going to be 24 in a few seasons. The only worry for me for him is that Nestor Lorenzo, the Colombian manager, he may not see this as a great move.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
And if the World Cup that's coming up, like, you know, he might risk that. But he's with Cristiano Ronaldo, Sadio Mane. Hopefully, he'll be able to get minutes, do his thing, and still have a spot in the Colombian national team.
But it's nuts, man. Your team sold this young, great player to Al Nassr and is going to sell Ali Watkins to Arsenal.
Bro, listen,
Crazy
what's
how that's
Arsenal?
working out.
Can I just say,
Crazy how that's going to
Well,
work
they
out.
could be
for
left
you.
with no strikers.
any Arsenal, like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
We're trying to play Celtic getting ready. Suddenly, like, Villa gets a call from Arsenal.
Hold on. We also had a game, all right? Y'all act like you were the only ones playing that day.
I know.
Every team was playing.
Yeah, but this is the first time we've done this. You guys do it every year. We're like, we're freaking out. Celtic, hello? What? No, we can't get rid of Ali
Yeah.
I'm
Watkins.
busy.
Yo,
You
do me
need a
favor.
striker,
Don't
straight
start
up,
out.
brother.
I know I'm trying to steal yours.
No, you're not getting Ali. Not for 60 million.
You know what I say?
That's an
Boniface
insult.
almost went to Al Nassr, but then well, let's go buy Boniface.
Calvert Lewin, bro. He's a good
He
one.
can't even score
Where he was
there.
supposed to go a couple years
50
ago.
million?
Yeah, but they feel
But the demand for strikers for a lot of teams is big.
Yeah, it's
massive. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the last few days of the
amazing. Luis Miguel Echegaray. Everybody, go pick up Messi Mania. Pre-orders are available now wherever books are sold. Do your thing. But yeah, March.
What website helps you the most? Is it Amazon?
Nothing, man. No matter. You go anywhere. You go to Amazon.com Peru. You go to Amazon Ley.
Is it .com.pr? What is Peru?
Go
Is
to
it-
Newark.
Yeah, go to Newark. Go to Newark. You get the book.
Yeah, PR. Voy a llevarte, papi. Yeah.
Luis, but it's always an absolute pleasure. Not only just you being on the show, but even just hanging out, man. You're just like one of the most, just one of our favorite people.
No, listen,
The
in this
soccer
game.
world in New York is better off that you're here.
No,
so
I
stop going
appreciate
anywhere.
it, but the sentiment is the same. I always, kind of started like this with a joke at the beginning, but I mean it. 10 years, Cooligans is incredible. And you guys are an absolute inspiration to anybody that wants to pick up a microphone and they don't know how to do it. Because I get emails all the time with young journalists telling me, how can I do this? How can I do that? I mean, you guys just picked up a mic, did your thing, and look, like it's ridiculous. So you guys are an inspiration, and I appreciate you. So,
My God.
Luis, un placer, hermano. Thank
but
you
we're not
so
going to New York for dinner.
Yeah. Not in Jersey. We're going to stick in New York.
March 4th, Messi Mania. Go pick it up. Luis, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
Ah, what a great interview that was with Luis Miguel Echegaray.
Shout out to him.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? He brings so much energy. I feel like he sleeps like a bat, you know?
Okay, just upside down from the
hanging.
ceiling.
I don't know
Yeah,
why. I don't know why. I just assume people who have a lot of energy sleep upside down. But he is. He's just a wonderful human being and always been very supportive of us.
Exactly.
So glad to see we're all still in the business.
Go
you know?
get his book.
Oh, you mean this one right here?
Messi Mania.
Messi Mania?
Go
Yeah,
look.
please do that. And get it for your cousins, get it for your friends, get it for your nephews, get it for your nieces, get it for everybody.
Exactly.
Buy 10 of them every time you go on that website. This is a fun segment that we like to call Rápido Reactions.
Yeah, we like to call it because that's what it's called.
We named it. We can do whatever the hell we want. You ready for it, Carter? You good?
I
Yep,
am ready for it. I think we still have the. No, that's right. That's a rewind. That's not Rápido Reaction.
That is not.
That's not the Rápido Reaction sound, and I
No.
thought that's what it was, but it is not. All right.
Hit any other button. Maybe that's the sound.
Right, he's like the LeBron James of soccer.
That's not it. That's not it.
Is that the sound? That'll be the sound now
Yeah.
for Rápido Reaction. Okay.
Carter, hit us. What you got?
All right. The
For
first
those
one,
of you who don't know, we got 90 seconds to respond. Then a little bell goes off. And we got to shut up.
yes, you do. All right. So the first one here, Neymar is headed back to Brazil. He's going back to Santos. Your thoughts?
He going back to connect with the Pum Cha Cha.
Yeah, dude,
bro.
he misses his people. You know what? A lot of people are saying like, "Oh, national team, he's going back to where he's from." Bro, the Brazilian national team don't want the players in Europe anyway. They're like, "Yo, we got our own vibe down here."
He's like, yo, I need to go hang out with Memphis Depay. That's why I'm going to
You
Brazil.
gotta get the structure out of him, bro. We need the Joga Bonito back, bro. I want to see vibey Neymar.
It's kind of wild. Al Hilal paid almost 100 million for him.
yeah,
He plays 6 games.
yeah.
He plays 6 games.
Dude, do the math. How many hundreds of millions? How many millions is that per game?
Not the best bargain.
No,
all
no,
right?
no.
Not the best
But
deal.
he did recover there. You know what I
He
mean?
did.
From his
he got
injury.
to hang out
Yeah.
through rehab
Yeah.
out in Saudi Arabia. I'm sure he
Yeah.
enjoyed that. But no,
Also, they got the money. That's like if you and I lost $10.
this is just one of those things where I'm like, is Neymar? Is he going to be Neymar? I want to see it a little bit. He is just one of the greatest players that we've kind of ever seen. One of the few players in this generation that plays the way he plays with that kind of style.
He might be one of the last of a dying breed, really.
And can he be that again? This deal, I believe, with Santos is only for 6 months. So nothing guarantees he's going to be there for a long amount of time. Everybody's, we were talking about Messi. The possibility of him still coming to Inter Miami, still coming to MLS in some way, is still seemingly like it's kind of there.
You know who would be happy about this? Pele, bro.
Pele would love it. Yes, he would. All right.
Happy about that.
Next up.
All right. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, Steven Gerrard has left Al Ettifaq.
Isn't El Ettifaq not in Saudi Arabia? It's like in a different country, right?
I don't know where it is, but it's in the Saudi Pro League, right? Is it?
I don't think it's in the Saudi Pro League.
Oh, it isn't.
It might be look this
It's
up.
like a Qatari league?
Maybe.
That's okay. We'll confirm.
Yeah, look,
Saudi League.
It is Saudi League.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Maybe it's just like the one that's all the way on the other side of the country. There's like one team that's, for some reason, El Ettifaq is a little separated from everyone else, at least in my brain, and there's nothing else in there.
I have no way. I have no way to confirm, but
Here's my reaction to Steven Gerrard signing to El Ettifaq, and here's the same reaction, him leaving. Okay.
There's a little bit, him and Jordan Henderson.
Jordan Henderson got the hell out of there.
They took a lot of stick for going over there.
Well, Jordan Henderson in particular.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
You got to respect everybody. How much? And he's like, I mean, I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
But it didn't go well. I mean, the questions, I'm sure Gerrard got paid handsomely to head over there. But this still begs the question, is he a manager? He wants to be a Premier League manager. He's gotten opportunities. He wants to be Liverpool manager. He's made that very well known. But he just hasn't really had a good stretch.
You ain't got the facilities, big man.
And so this, maybe he just got out of a situation early enough where it didn't get worse, but it just clearly was not the move for him. And yes, and people from Liverpool should just not be out in Saudi Arabian heat. I mean, let's just be.
Nah, man.
They don't. That's not what they.
That's literally the opposite of what y'all built for.
They don't really belong out there. But yeah, I wonder where he ends up next. Is there any scenario?
Like 180 seconds. Did you forget to hit the bell?
No, we haven't hit 90 yet. We're still
wow.
We got to talk about Steven Gerrard.
There it is.
Go for it.
All right. The next one here, Lucho Acosta might be headed back to Argentina.
He showed up.
Yeah, back and forth, this guy.
He showed up to training preseason with FC Cincinnati, but he is clearly trying to make a move. I think Estudiantes is one of the teams that put in a bid.
I think the rumor for a while was River.
Yeah, I don't know where he ends up going. I sort of feel like this would be a really big bummer to have Lucho leave the league. I don't know any specifics on why he would want to leave. I don't know if he's had any issues.
He's done everything he could do in MLS, bro. He's tired of playing here. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, to some degree, like, if you want to go back home, you're starting to get a little older, and you want to go back home. And, look, I'm sure Cincinnati's a very nice place, and he lives a nice life out there, but I think he wants a little bit of that home cooking.
Maybe. I don't know. A loss for the league, a loss for FC Cincinnati.
Plus, he can't get in any of the pickup trucks. You know what I mean? It's too tall.
That's a big concern. American cars are too large.
It's too many F-150s out here, bro.
No, man, I'm not getting to see Lucho Acosta
Look up
week
the
in and
number
week
one
out.
car sold in Ohio. I guarantee you it's a F-150.
How?
I guarantee. I'm willing to put $5 right now. It's an F-150.
There's no. It has to be a sedan.
It is the Ford F-150.
Why is that car so popular in Ohio?
Yes!
They have big cities.
Yes! Let's go!
I can't believe it was specifically the Ford
F-150 from the logo, dude. I think I broke Carter.
All right.
Never doubt me again.
What's next?
All right, this is a more specific question for you. Mathys Tel looks like he's leaving Bayern Munich. Should he go to which of these clubs should he go to? Manchester United, Tottenham, Aston Villa, or Chelsea?
I think I also heard that Arsenal were in there.
Arsenal are now in the running for this
for
Mathys Tel.
This is and this is what I love about this sport, where there's no trades, right? Where the player the team has to agree with the player, say, hey, do you want to play here before I even?
And if you did, is it cool? Would you take this amount of money? Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna talk to your parents and see if that's okay.
So it's in the ball is in his court.
Yeah.
Of like, what team do I want to go to? I mean, we're all on the same social media that everybody else is on. We see how people talk about all these particular clubs: Tottenham, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Aston Villa.
If we take Arsenal out of it, because the question was Tottenham, United, Chelsea, Aston Villa, out of those four, there's only one answer that feels like it has the best vibes, right? Tottenham, kind of weird right now. No one knows what's happening there.
But
manager seems to be
definitely
mad at
playing
everyone.
time.
Yeah, he'll get playing time. Manchester United, not exactly out of the weird realm yet. You know, the
not
vibes
at
are
all.
still off. Chelsea, there's, what are you, one of 150,000 players there? So many players. Aston Villa might be that
Villa
choice.
feels like the stable
Champions
choice.
League.
You know, you slept around in your 20s. You went a little crazy,
Hey, you have
drank.
fun. We're not judging.
It's like, we're not here to do that, but you want to go to a stable, you want to meet just a good partner.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That
Someone you could be with for a long time.
Aston Villa feels like that decision right now. But it also could,
Tottenham is a little thotty, a little messy at
Tottenham
night.
is like, can you make a hoe into a housewife type of thing?
Look, she parties at night. She's normal during the
It's
day.
not
But she
impossible.
comes home blackout drunk.
You gotta ask these questions when you're picking, who you want to spend some years of your life with. All right.
Yeah.
All right, your last one here. Speaking of Aston Villa, John Duran has officially left for Al Nassr. Was this the right decision for him?
I mean, we spoke with LME about it.
Yeah.
My position is more that it's the wrong move.
Missionary.
All right, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. Okay, my favorite position is the Bible. Reading. Okay, you little freaks. It feels like the wrong move. I mean, it's we were talking about with Luis Miguel just about his opportunities with Colombia. He could have gone to pretty much any Premier League club he wanted to, or possibly in a couple years, maybe the really, a Barcelona, Real Madrid, like that. I feel like that is his trajectory. He's gonna get paid. Happy for him.
It feels like he still can, though. He's so young. He's 21 years old.
It's just anything can happen. You can get injured over there.
It feels like now's the time. Like, people who get married early, they're like, hey, if I get divorced, I still got time, right? That's kind of how this feels.
I don't love it, and all I do.
It's not the most preferred move, but I'm fine with the move because he's going to get paid. He's going to be able to change that neighborhood of Medellin where he's from. He's going to be able to pay for a lot of stuff for his family.
Development.
Hey, he's gonna play. He wasn't play. He started 7 matches, and they sold him for 77 million.
I mean, I'm not knocking his decision. Just he's just such an electric player.
Yo, Chicago Fire made 8.7 million extra.
Yeah,
so that makes the total move.
And because of the add-ons, they get something like 18% of those add-ons. Whatever that is.
So this is it. Yo, the whole move total as of right now is $30.7 million. Is what they sold him for.
Lovely.
Crazy.
Good business.
Yo.
All right. Chicago
Greg
Fire.
Berhalter's like, give me that money machine.
Can get Shaqiri back with that money. That's what they need. All right.
I thought you said Shakira. I was like, when did they break up with Shakira?
Rápido Reactions, Carter. Thank you so much. Always appreciate it.
Ford F-150, y'all.
Ford F-150 gang.
That came out of nowhere, dog.
Okay.
I'm still shocked.
Shout
when
out.
you said it into the mic, I was like, Christian's like, there's no way.
It has to be a sensible vehicle. You know how Ohioans are.
Nah.
No.
What's more sensible than a beautiful Ford F-150?
Okay.
A car I'd never want to drive.
Everybody, thank you again for tuning into another episode of the Cooligans. Shout out to Luis Miguel Echegaray again. Go pick up his book, Messi Mania. Pre-orders are available now. He also brought us some pisco as well.
Are you a pisco fan?
I mean, I've had it, but I'm not a fan. I'll just like, if I'm hanging around Peruvians, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
It's like with Colombians and aguardiente.
Aguardiente. You're not allowed to say no.
What are you gonna say? No, you're being ridiculous.
You're not allowed to say no.
So shout out to him. And
what is the Dominican version? Is it just the Presidente?
No.
Brugal?
Brugal would probably be
Brugal.
the national beverage.
Yeah.
I guess.
For Cubans, it's water. We got no tap water, bro.
Water.
We ain't got no money. No, it'd probably be from back in the day, it'd be Bacardi, or as you guys know, Bacardi.
Okay, Bacardi B. All right.
So she got the name.
So everybody, make sure you follow us everywhere on all socials at Soccer Cooligans. Follow us on Blue Sky. We're having a good time on there with normal human beings that aren't psychopaths.
Not
like
every
that.
reply is like, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, you hungry to eat this? And you're like, Jesus Christ, my wife is sitting next to me. You know?
Okay,
I swear I was just talking about
I
food.
just opened the app,
Yo,
bro. Slow down.
It gets. Y'all need to calm the F down over there on X, bro.
So
About to make me an X. That's what the name comes from.
at soccercooligans.com on Blue Sky. So make sure you follow us there. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. And we'll be back on Monday. We have another poll that should be, I didn't put it up yet, but I will put it up while the time you're listening to this. Last episode, we had Kevin Sullivan on the
Great
pod,
interview.
the MLS Media Day interview. So we have another poll on our YouTube channel. Go youtube.com/soccercooligans. Vote on who do you want to see next. The options, I believe, are the remaining Fafa Pico, Keaton Parks,
Pat Noonan.
Matt Miazga, and Emil Forsberg.
Oh, okay.
All right. So look, good names. A good
Bro.
good selection. Who do you want to see?
Couple F-150 drivers out there. I promise you that.
They see me rolling in my very large vehicle.
Bruh.
So go.
Just like, well, we don't do sedans anymore.
Just a little lower to the
little side for me down here.
lower to the earth. All right. So go vote on that. And as always, be on the lookout because we have our Patreon, patreon.com/soccercooligans. We have I started going through all the footage from the show, from the ISC show. It is just banger, bro. It's gonna...
I actually stole one of the jokes from Morning Footage. Did I tell you about it?
Yeah, you did tell me so. So we did a roast show at ISC, and we filmed it, and that'll be out soon. So patreon.com/soccercooligans if you want to see that first.
Yeah.
And it's so it's already looking great. It's a really, really fun show. All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Seriously, y'all the best. Shout out again to LME. But we'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Peace.
Love you guys.